What do scrap boards, a couple of fresh flowers, and a glorified can of glue get you? I don't know, let's find out. All right, got a couple of pallet boards left over. Of course, caulk gun full of liquid nails. We're going to use this as a backer. These three boards are essentially just going to get mounted to that, and we're going to just make an old wood sign. I'm going to try and do something a little bit different. We're going to be using decoupage, which a lot of people use, and of course a lot of people put together old boards like this to make wall hangings and signs and things like that. They hand paint family, friends, faith, any of the F words really. I have not seen a 4-letter F word get hand painted on these, but this is a family show, so we're not going to do that. So I've got these boards flipped over upside down. Scrap board, just lay it somewhere in here. You don't have to measure it, but I'm going to put a layer of liquid nails on these boards, lay this on the back, and then somebody who shall not be named still has my screwdriver, my electric screwdriver, so I'm going to have to be using a manual screwdriver, but I'll screw into this board, into those boards, pull it all together, and then the combination of the screws and the liquid nails will hold these all together, and we will have a sign ready to be decorated. The board's painted and got family wrote out on there with a black magic marker. Going to give it a light sanding. Alright, we're going to put a little bit of Mod Podge on this project. This is what you're looking at, Mod Podge. It's just glue, basically. It's like Elmer's glue. But what this does is it will give you something to stick your flowers, your paper, whatever it is that you're putting down. It gives you something to stick those to, and then they set in that medium. And then once they set in that medium and they're kind of frozen in place, then you let it set. You go back over it again with another layer to go over it, and that will kind of seal it up into almost like a layer of clear coat, I guess, for lack of a better term. I think this is why most people go with paper flowers that they cut out. You cut them out of greeting cards, you cut them out of magazines, anywhere you find them. You can cut wallpaper. Sometimes you can find some stationery or something where you find something just in a piece of stationery you like. You can cut it out. Anything basically out of paper, even material. Material can be decoupaged on if you've got, like, I don't know, napkins. Paper napkins or cloth napkins. Either one, you can do those also. So what did we learn? To make the board, it's really easy, really cheap. Just need a couple of scrap pallet boards, put them together, bam. Lightly dust it with spray paint. You can use white like I did and then sand it down, or you can just leave the boards raw. Raw wood of the pallets looks pretty good. Decoupage is easy. It's just like gluing something down. The fresh flowers are a little trickier. If it was going to be on a box or something like that that people could actually touch rather than a sign that's going to hang on the wall, I would recommend deconstructing the flowers petal by petal, then gluing them on back individually to try and reconstruct the flowers to take that kind of 3D effect out of it. And honestly, I think the flowers in this project are a little bit too bright. The yellow, the red, the purple, they're a little bit too bright. They need to be toned down, but it was what I had to work with. Anyway, in a half an afternoon, you can have a great project for next to nothing. And instead of painting with a paintbrush, use a black magic marker. Everybody can look like an expert. See you next time.